So I wanted to tie in a few thoughts that I've had amongst the 2 weeks, and I've been thinking about certain things, and two things that came across in my mind, and I've been thinking about for a while now. I stumbled across a video that really helped me kind of understand how the Prophet ﷺ was with his own children, because we do see glimpses of how he was with his own children, but we also see other children that he interacted with, like Hassan and Hussein, his grandchildren. We saw that he, went around and there was children, and how soft he was towards children and orphans, and that whole glimpse that we get to see. When we look at Fatima, we see all these like really awesome traits that she had, the strength that she had when she would take the camel intestines off her father, SAW, and how she cared for her dad, and the relationship in many different instances. When you see her standing by herself in all the strengths that she had, you have to know that it had come from something. And you think about a few things. Like for me, I thought about her environment, where when your dad Sallallahu is in that position, Sicily obviously had a lot of responsibility um, in his position. So you could imagine that the daughter had to adjust a lot of the time, and to understand the whole lifestyle that they had. And so the environment was one factor. Allah knows best, but I'm just trying to reflecting from my standpoint. So that was one aspect, and then the other aspect was the treatment, and the way that the Prophet ﷺ was as a dad, that we could learn a lot from. And obviously there is this softness that the Prophet ﷺ had, but we could look at another quality trait that I couldn't, like this video that I came across from Sheikh Balal. He'd mentioned being firm, and you could be firm without yelling, you could be firm without bringing the other person down. Analyzing how parenting was, especially for the Prophet ﷺ, raising the kids from babies all the way up until like Fatima's, raising her all the way up, and to see like the glimpses of interactions that they might have had, and how did it look like. And obviously we can't, Allah knows best, and we can't really it's not to dwell on it too much, but thinking about the part of a parent that we need to be both firm and have respect for our children, understanding the responsibility through being firm. Firm is how we are going to get our kids in order when it comes to the prayer and the fasting and things like that. Waking them up for suhoor, involving them. It's going to be through a place of being firm, and not necessarily just continuing the soft trajectory that many people think about. In the West, we don't live in a place where we get responsibility at a very young age with kids, and it's just a very soft environment, to be honest. Even though we do may practice, take out the kid will do this task to keep the house clean. And I know that some parents give duties to their 3-year-olds, and it creates a sense of responsibility, but we'll never get to a sense where our kids will just mature so rapidly. How are we going to build resilience in our kids is a discussion, like, and a question that I often think about, because the children of Gaza and other parts of the world, like, that are dealing with genocide, and dealing with hardship, kids are having that resilience in them. But we have to start building that resilience in our kids somehow, and this environment doesn't allow that to be easy. In my opinion, there's a certain standard that I secretly have, like, because you make intention when, in pregnancy, before conceiving, to make this the best servant to you, Allah. And you're understanding like what the servant is, have certain standards of myself first as a servant of Allah, to gain more knowledge, to really control the tongue. Like, it's mostly on you, honestly, as a parent. And when your kids see resilience in you, they follow. I get that's one, and then also the environment. Putting a link down below to the video that I saw from Sheikh Bilal talking about being firm with our children, and he really said it clearly for me to have that eye-opening about what it means.